Hey kids! Today's video is going to teach us a little bit about using circles in the 3D modeling world, and we are going to learn something about constraints and tangents, and we're just going to keep practicing some of the fundamental skills we have been doing. So if you look at this drawing, it always looks way more complicated than it is. This is actually a pretty easy drawing. What we have here is basically two parts we're going to do. There is this bottom part we're going to extrude up, and this front or back part we're going to extrude front. We also got this kind of nice little curve here on the top that looks way complicated, but it's actually very easy. So to understand it all, let's jump into our drawing and see how to do it. As always, I'm going to go and make a new standard metric part. It's going to bring us to our modeling space. I like to turn on my visibility and look at my views. So as I said before, I have this bottom feature over here, and I think I want to extrude that straight up. And then we have this back feature over here, and I'm going to extrude that front. I think doing the top feature will be the easiest first. So let me go to Sketch. I'm going to go over here. And I'm simply going to draw this box. Let's do it a little different though. I can use this rectangle tool, and I can just drag it to any size. It really doesn't matter because I can dimension each side afterwards. So this right here is 96 long. And then the height of it is going to be 36. So as you can see, this is what it started looking like looking down. Now if you see, it says 48 over. In the middle, there's this little cutout. 48 is the halfway point of 96. I can use my midway indicator to figure this out. So if I just drag my little cursor along, you'll see it turns green. Well, that is my midpoint. If I go up 15, that's going to take me to my circle center or origin. It is giving me one radius here. That is a radius of 7. So if I go to my circle, I go over here. A radius is just half of what a diameter is. To get a diameter, I just double it up. So that is 14. We learned last video that we have quadrants in our circle, and I can simply just take these quadrants down. That is my cutout. Now I can use my trim to get rid of the material I do not want. Now here is a little hint here. If you see, when I went to go click on that, it made it move. That's because I'm changing dimensions here. And really the rule of thumb is never trim a full line. A full lines we always just delete. Funny things happen when you trim a full line. We can also trim this middle part here. You can see we don't need that. So now I have a complete object. But I think I want to put these circles in on this part. So I'm going to go over to my line here. If you look, 36 in each direction and 12 up will give me the center of my circle. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to go 36, and then I simply go up 12. What are the size of these circles? Well, these circles are 7.2. I'm going to come over here. That is a diameter, so I simply do on that one 7.2. Smaller circle. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. I'm going to go over 36, up 12. Same circle right here, 7.2. Don't forget to get rid of all these lines we just drew. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to delete there, get rid of that one, and get rid of that one. At this point, I can extrude my object up. So I'm going to finish my sketch, click extrude, click up, and there you can see that is my object. So this whole thing is 12 high, so I'm just going to make it 12 millimeters high. That completes the first part of my project. Second part here I have to do on this back side. So I'm going to rotate this around here, poorly as usual. And I want to draw on this back side here, because I want to extrude this part up. I'm going to pick to sketch on this part right here. Now on this, it says from the middle, so I'm going to go to my midpoint again here. So I'm just going to drag my little line over here. Whoop, there it was. And I'm going to go up 15. Now really what you have here is two circles, one with a diameter 12 and one with a radius of 17. Let's do the small one first. The small one is just a diameter of 12. So I'm just going to click 12. The next one is a radius, and that is a radius of 17. And 17 times 2 is 34. So this larger circle is 34. You're thinking, oh no, it's going into my object, but do not worry, we don't need that part. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is not going to make sense at first, but trust me for a second. How are we going to get that? Well, I'm going to come up to my line, I'm going to click up here on my top quadrant, and I'm going to go down here to my end. Now I'll do these one at a time. Once you start adding constraints and you have parts connected, it starts doing weird things. How do we actually get this to touch this line or be tangent to it? Well, if you look up here in your constraints, you're going to notice that we have a bunch of ways we can do things. Parallel, perpendicular, horizontal, whatever you name, it's up here. One of these is tangent, and this puts a line tangent to a curve. So if I click that, click on my circle first and my line, I get it tangent to it. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. On the quadrant, all the way down here, I'm going to go to my constraints, circle first, line, there we go. We're going to use our trim command again, click it there, and we get rid of the bottom part. Now we have that nice little curve. Do not forget to connect your lines here. Go all the way over. You have to finish the object. Once you do that, you can hit Finish Sketch. I'm going to rotate this around here. And now we can see that's how my drawing looks like, except I still have to extrude it. So I'm going to click on this part here. This is 10, so I'm going to type in 10. Be careful of your direction. If you look, it's going backwards. I need it to go the other way on top of my object. Click it on top like that, and then I just hit OK. There's my object. If you look, looks just like the other one. Let's get the same view here. I am not doing a good job rotating today, kids. Looks exactly like the one on my piece of paper. Well, there you go, kids. That's how we use tangents and circles together. As always, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, good luck with your drawing, kids.